In Potomac, where old money meets etiquette, wealth doesn't shout. It observes. Inside Karen Huger's estate, the most striking space isn't the living room or the garden, but a flawless kitchen that looks like a showroom. And yet, she openly admits she never cooks. Because this home isn't about performance. Karen Huger doesn't live to impress. She lives to hold position. Every choice signals control, restraint, and earned authority. But long before this house existed, Karen had already built her power. Karen Huger, born Karen Wooden on May 3, 1963, didn't grow up around cameras, red carpets, or curated appearances. She grew up on a large family farm in Sussex County, Virginia, a place where routine mattered, reputation traveled fast, and how you carried yourself was noticed long before what you owned. Her father was a successful farmer and landowner, and in that environment, respect wasn't requested. Southern upbringing shaped Karen early. Etiquette wasn't a performance, it was a language. She learned when to speak, when to hold back, and how presence could communicate authority without volume. From family gatherings to business conversations, she absorbed the idea that power works best when it's controlled. Years later, viewers would mistake this discipline for drama, but it was never learned on television. It was learned at home. Her public chapter didn't begin until 2016, when Karen Huger joined the original cast of The Real Housewives of Potomac. From the first episode, she positioned herself differently. While others competed for relevance, Karen declared status. Calling herself the Grande Dame of Potomac wasn't a joke. It was a claim rooted in confidence, age, and self-awareness. And unlike many reality personas, she never walked it back. What made Karen stand out wasn't volume, but consistency. She didn't chase storylines, she became an anchor. Season after season, her presence provided balance. Part etiquette enforcer, part cultural translator, part reminder that Potomac wasn't built for chaos. Viewers either admired her or challenged her, but they never ignored her. That's authority. By 2021, Bravo recognized her positioning with a dedicated spin-off, Karen's Grande Dame Reunion, which premiered in April 2022. The concept wasn't reinvention, it was affirmation. By the time the 9th season of RHOP premiered in October 2024, Karen's role was no longer up for debate. She wasn't just cast, she was context. Importantly, Karen didn't allow television to define her ceiling. She leveraged visibility into ownership. In 2018, she launched La Dame Fragrance, a brand built not on youth trends but on maturity, femininity, and presence. The line expanded into candles and body products, landing distribution through HSN and Bloomingdale's, retailers that value consistency over hype. In 2021, she added a wig line, extending her beauty portfolio with the same philosophy: polished, intentional, and grown. That same year, Karen was sworn in as a tourism ambassador for Surrey County, Virginia, a symbolic return to her roots. It wasn't just a title. It was recognition that her influence extended beyond entertainment, back into the communities that shaped her. And when it came time to choose a home, she selected one that reflected everything she had already become. Potomac Estate. Homes here don't chase trends, they uphold standards. So when Karen Huger returned to Potomac around 2023 to 2024, it wasn't a relocation. Bravo's first look at her new Potomac home revealed exactly that tone. The exterior is polished without being loud, signaling confidence before a single word is spoken. Step inside, and the house unfolds like a carefully chaired meeting. Every room knows its role. There's a dedicated women's office that functions as the true command center, a space Karen uses often, not for display but for decisions. This is where calls are made, plans are shaped, and boundaries are maintained. The family living room and dining area continue the theme: elegant, balanced, and intentionally calm. Nothing here begs for attention. The furniture is chosen for presence, not shock value. It's the kind of space where conversations carry weight and silence is allowed to linger. a hallmark of authority rather than excess. Then there's the kitchen, perhaps the most revealing room in the house. Bright, modern, finished in crisp white cabinetry with high-end appliances, it looks like it belongs in a design magazine. And yet Karen openly calls it the most wasteful part of the house. She doesn't cook. Everyone knows that. She says it plainly, almost amused by it. "I love a beautiful kitchen," she admits, "but that's the room I like the least." The honesty lands as humor, but the message is clear. This home is not built to perform domestic expectations. It's built to reflect truth. Out back, the atmosphere shifts from composed to restorative. The garden is quiet, manicured without rigidity, and deeply personal. Karen refers to it as a piece of paradise, and the description fits. It's not designed for large events or public moments. It's designed for decompression, a buffer between public life and private breath. This Potomac home also carries context. Years earlier, Karen and her husband Raymond owned another house in the same area, which they sold in 2016 for approximately $1.685 million during a period of financial strain. That chapter was visible, uncomfortable, and instructive. This new home doesn't erase that past. It answers it. The design choices, the restraint, the lack of theatrical luxury all suggest someone who has lived through instability and now values control above all else. And that raises an important question. How does Karen sustain this level of life, independence, and control? Income and net worth. Karen Huger's estimated net worth stands at approximately $2 million, a figure that reflects longevity rather than spectacle. Her financial story isn't about explosive growth or overnight success. It's about learning how to convert presence into profit, and doing so without surrendering control. Since 2016, Karen Huger has been a foundational figure on the Real Housewives of Potomac, appearing from its very first season. Housewives' salaries are rarely disclosed publicly, but industry norms place long-running cast members firmly in the six-figure per season range. For Karen, that income didn't just provide cash flow. It delivered visibility, leverage, and staying power, three assets far more valuable than a single paycheck. Unlike many reality personalities who remain dependent on television, Karen used the platform as a launchpad. Around 2018 to 2019, she introduced La Dame fragrance, a perfume line designed not for trend cycles, but for mature elegance and identity. The brand expanded beyond fragrance into candles and body lotions, securing placement with major retailers such as Bloomingdale's and HSN. In the beauty business, shelf space is credibility, and La Dame earned it. Today, the fragrance line is widely regarded as Karen's primary independent income driver. She continued to build outward, not upward. In 2021, Karen launched a wig and hair extension line in collaboration with RPG Show, often referred to as La Dame by Karen Huger or Icon by Karen Huger. The move aligned seamlessly with her public image, polished, intentional, and controlled. Combined with brand appearances, endorsements, tours, and media engagements tied to RHOP, Karen assembled a diversified portfolio rooted in lifestyle branding rather than risky expansion. But Karen's financial story also includes a chapter many prefer to erase, and she never has. In July 2017, reports revealed that the Huger family was facing significant tax issues. Raymond Huger allegedly owed approximately $1.5 million in personal federal taxes, while his company faced an additional $3 million in liabilities. Around the same time, a $1.468 million foreclosure order was placed on their Potomac home, which was sold in 2016. Rather than denying or disguising the moment, Karen absorbed it. That period reshaped her relationship with money, privacy, and control. Today, Karen Huger's wealth is not defined by how much she earns in a single year, but by how deliberately she maintains independence. She monetized visibility without becoming dependent on it. With that foundation secured, her focus naturally extended beyond income, toward responsibility, memory, and giving back. Philanthropy. While her charitable work is often visible on the Real Housewives of Potomac, its roots are profoundly personal. Her most enduring commitment is to the Alzheimer's Association, a cause tied directly to family tragedy. Karen's parents and her mother-in-law all suffered from Alzheimer's disease, and in 2017, she lost her mother to the illness. That experience transformed awareness into action. Rather than offering distant endorsements, Karen became an active advocate, using both her resources and her platform to keep the conversation alive around a disease that too often fades into silence. One of her most meaningful initiatives is the O Charity Dinner, named in honor of her mother-in-law, Odessa. The event is not designed as a spectacle, it is structured with intention. During Season 3 of RHOP, Karen hosted the dinner with a clear rule. Donations would go directly to the Alzheimer's Association. As clarified by castmate Monique Samuels, Karen's own company covered event expenses, including venue and food, ensuring that proceeds were not diluted. Beyond fundraising, Karen has served as a spokesperson and advocate for Alzheimer's awareness, helping bring visibility to caregivers, families, and patients navigating a disease that strips memory but not dignity. Her advocacy is steady rather than seasonal, rooted in remembrance rather than recognition. Karen's philanthropic reach also extends into survivor advocacy. She is an ambassador for Promoting Awareness Victim Empowerment, PAVE, a nonprofit focused on preventing sexual violence through education and awareness. This work is deeply personal. Karen has spoken openly about being a survivor of sexual abuse, and her involvement with PAVE reflects a refusal to let trauma remain private if it can protect others. Her sense of civic duty became especially visible during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, Karen personally donated 4,000 masks to healthcare workers, a direct response to an immediate need, delivered without fanfare. It was a reminder that effective philanthropy often happens away from cameras, in moments when urgency outweighs image. And with that foundation of service and legacy established, the story now turns inward, to the personal life she guards just as carefully. Personal life. For Karen Huger, personal life has never been a fairy tale. It has been a test of endurance, loyalty, and self-possession under pressure. She has been married to Raymond A. Huger, President and CEO of Paradigm Solutions International, since September 7, 1996. Their marriage began long before television cameras arrived, with a honeymoon in Hawaii and decades built on partnership rather than performance. Before Ray, Karen experienced marriage once already, to Edmund E. Carter, a chapter she closed before stepping into the life that would later become public. With Ray, the relationship evolved through success, financial strain, and public scrutiny. In a moment that surprised many viewers, the couple reaffirmed their commitment by remarrying during the Season 6 finale of The Real Housewives of Potomac, later celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary in August 2022. It wasn't about spectacle. It was about survival. Karen is also a mother whose identity has long extended beyond the spotlight. Her son Brandon was born during her time as a single mother before marrying Ray. He later graduated from Morehouse College and moved forward into his own independent life, a milestone Karen often references with pride. Her daughter, Raven Huger, born in 1997, grew up partly on camera and has remained a visible source of strength. In 2025, Raven publicly supported her mother during a BravoCon appearance, a quiet but powerful signal of family unity. The most difficult chapter came in 2024. After a car accident in March, Karen was found guilty in December on charges related to DUI and DWI. Sentenced to 2 years in prison with 1 year suspended, she served 6 months at the Montgomery County Detention Center from February to September 2025 before being released early. The experience removed her abruptly from public life, forcing a period of reckoning far from cameras and commentary. Following her release, Karen entered a private rehabilitation program and chose to step back, missing the Season 9 end-of-season reunion. When she returned publicly at BravoCon 2025 in November, her appearance was emotional, measured, and restrained. She expressed gratitude rather than defiance, signaling a woman focused on recovery, accountability, and return, not reinvention. As of now, Karen Huger's life is centered on rebuilding balance. She is expected to reappear in Season 10 of RHOP, including a conversation with Andy Cohen and the end-of-season reunion. But this time, the emphasis is different. Not power for show, but composure earned. Thank you for staying with us through this entire story. If you enjoyed exploring a life shaped by intention, resilience, and quiet authority, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And before you go, leave a comment below. Would you choose status or survival? We look forward to seeing you in the next episode.